You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. Phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. Doesn't look like we have any of those, so let's kick it off with Kyle from Madison.
Hey, Kyle from Madison.
What's up?
Hello, aus Deutschland, mein Freund, Ryan. I'm calling you from Germany, just outside Cologne, actually.
Oh, nice.
Just turned out that I had a few weeks in between some surgeries, so I went over to surprise visit my nephew. And for the first time, we actually were able to watch a Packer game together in person, which was really special because we've done it, in video, but how that is. It's not always ideal, and somebody streams ahead and whatever. It was super cool to be able to celebrate together and
For sure.
hug each other and jump up and down. It was really cool. And what a great game to share. A lot of great stuff. A lot of positives, man. So many. Evan Williams. There was Kenny Clark sightings. The only negative is that X didn't get a pick, big whoop.
Yeah.
Hey, in 10, I love you, bro.
And to be fair, we can now count that fumble recovery, so he has got 6 turnovers in 6 games.
Need you out there looking for blocks to throw with 4 minutes left in the game. You're up 4 scores, but hey, love you, bro. But, oh, man, a lot in this game that I loved. Mostly the family I shared it with, but it was just great. And, man, really the only thing that I really want to see change, well, I don't want to see Reed on kickoff. I don't want to see Reed on returns anymore. It just doesn't make sense to me that an NFL team cannot find someone other than our number 1 or number 2 best offensive player to put back there to take cheap shots from the other team's third stringers all game. Please, this was my complaint last year, and it remains. Nixon did fine. He did great, actually. He had a great return. Just get Reed off of that. No more punt returns for Reed. I don't care, man. We can't lose Reed. He is just too good of a player for us. It's so stupid. I don't want to see it anymore. Okay, so if you could take care of that, that would be great. I don't know. You must have NFL Game Pass, I'm assuming, or at least you must know about it. I haven't looked into it in America. Over in Europe here, I bought the whatever season pass, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. It was $100, but
it's a lot cheaper overseas,
game, including Amazon games, including all the every game, not just the main ones. You get all the other games, and you get commercial-free replays, and a bunch of stuff. So I think probably it's a better deal here, and I think it works throughout Europe. So I don't know. We're going to travel around a bit, so we'll get to watch it a couple places, but there's actually quite a few Packers fans in Germany too, so I'm thinking there might be a Munich game in the future of the Packers next few years, so we'll see about that. But what a great victory, man. Great team. Really proud of the way they got Dobbs involved without forcing it. Just some crazy stuff in this game. Loved it. Have a good one, buddy. Talk to you later. Shoes.
It is funny because it's we're going to have a game in Brazil. It's you got to have the Packers. I mean, it's the number 1 team down there. You know what I mean? Then it's well, what about Germany? It's you got to have the Packers in Germany. Why? I mean, it's the Packers. What if there's a team in the United States that represents Germany? It's Green Bay. Wisconsin's all German, sausages, the whole thing, Come on. It's got to be. So, yeah, I'm sure that's coming at some point, despite the, I'm sure, consternation of the Packers organization.
Hi, Ryan. It's Randy from Minnesota.
Hey.
Wow. Victory Monday. God, I love Victory Mondays.
Feels so good.
And it sure makes my work day go a lot easier, as I'm sure everybody else's too. That was as close to a almost complete game as I can remember in a long time. It was just refreshing. It was good to see. Things are starting to gel, and you can see things. We need more Evan Williams. We need more Cooper. Yeah, those guys were just balling out. It was great. I'm really looking forward to Sunday's game against Houston. It's going to tell us a lot, I believe. I'm glad it's at home. I think we're going to need the home crowd, and we're going to need all the mojo we can with Houston. But there's no reason why we can't beat them. Anyway, that's all I've got. Go Pack, go. Goodbye.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, the NFC North's getting a lot of hype right now, and I've been saying, I don't know that they've faced the best teams. Again, I think Lions fans would object, but I just looked at it. Dallas has got, I think, the second worst defense in football. It depends what metric you're looking at, but they are just abysmally terrible. The Bears still continue to have, I think over the next 2 weeks, they face still two of the easiest defenses in football. They got Washington coming up. I was just checking. I was looking at PFF before, looking at DVOA. I think they have, the Patriots and Washington, who rank 28th and 29th. So they literally, hold on. This can't be true. Oh, it's Arizona. But there is New England. Where's Arizona? Oh, my Lord. All right, so Arizona kind of throws a wrench in this. But the 5 worst teams, defensive teams in football. So here's who they've faced. The last, since the Bears started to look competent week 4, the Rams, the Panthers, the Jaguars. Then they have a bye. Then they have Washington, Arizona, New England. Keep those teams in your mind. Rams, Panthers, Jaguars, Washington, Arizona, New England. Here are the teams with the worst defenses from worst to best. The Jaguars, the Panthers, the Rams, the Patriots, and Washington. And Arizona ranks 23rd. They're playing literally the 5 worst defenses in football. Jacksonville, Carolina, and the Rams are the 3 worst defenses in football. Those are the 3 teams they just faced. The next 2 worst defenses they face 2 out of the next 3 weeks, and Arizona is one of also the worst. The first time they're going to face a competent defense, hopefully at least it's competent, is Green Bay, and they rank 15th right now on defense. The first time they definitely face a good defense is week 12 against Minnesota, who currently has the number 1 defense. And then Detroit ranks 4th, although they lost Aiden Hutchinson. So we'll see how much that holds up. Then San Francisco. So they've got a much tougher stretch. And then the Vikings again, and then the Lions again. So if the Packers can end up having a good defense, they're just going to face an absolute gauntlet. But I am stunned that they are facing all of the worst defenses. Just stupid. The frustrating part of that is you look at it and say, okay, they're on a bit of a winning streak. They're 4-2. They got a bye week, so they're not going to lose this week, so they remain 4-2. Washington's going to be tough. It's not as though that's going to be a cakewalk like maybe some of these others because their offense looks good, but still, when you have a stout defense and you're going up against bad defenses, you let the defense do its job, keeps the scoring low, and then you have a low bar to get over, and then you clear that bar, which they've done spectacularly, don't get me wrong, but, Caleb's doing a great job with no pressure and wide open players. Go figure. And then you play the Cardinals, and as we saw, that's not the hardest thing. So they're going to maybe lose to the Commanders. They're more than likely going to beat the Cardinals and the Patriots. So 6-3 feels like kind of the I'm not going to say floor or ceiling, but let's just say most likely scenario. The Bears, who I don't think have a good offense or a good quarterback, are going to be 6-3 with Caleb looking like a stud by the time they play the Green Bay Packers week 11. It's not going to be in Green Bay. It's going to be in Soldier Field. I guess what I'm hoping is from there they just get an absolute beating because, again, it's Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers. I don't know how many wins they have in there if they don't pick up a little bit of an offense. But anyways, just freaking shocking. It's so annoying that they get that. Packers, in the meantime, they face like a bad defense here and there, but it's kind of alternating, right? The Titans don't have a bad defense. The Colts, I don't think, have a bad... the Colts do. Texans don't. Vikings obviously don't. Bottom line is we're going to have to start fighting like now. Not everybody else is going to be fighting. So the real good news is this looked like a good team. This looked like a defense that's ready to go, an offense that's ready to go. So hopefully we're kind of in, not fully playoff shape, but kind of getting there, because that's what you're going to need to be able to beat teams like the Houston Texans. Not that maybe Houston is quite as good as they were last year. They're having some ups and downs, but they're still a very good team. Via DVOA, second best defense in football, seventh best offense. So, yeah, I guess forget that. They are back to where they were. Tough sledding, but like you said, it's in Green Bay, so got to feel pretty good about that.
What's going on, Omar the Firefighter? How you doing?
What's up?
Been a minute since I called, so I'm happy to call on our good Packers win. That's the first game I feel like we played all 4 quarters, which I think a lot of people probably agree with. They called before me. I like that our receivers caught the daggone ball. That was nice. I like the game plan and the play calls for the most part.
Yep.
It was pretty good. I couldn't be mad. I couldn't be mad at everything. I forgot who said it. And I can't remember. I think I said it, but then that was on one of the calls you deleted. Some people might not like this or agree, but I feel like we should feature Romeo Dobbs. I don't want to say we did it today, but he got 2 touchdowns. But either trade him at the deadline or play like normal and then trade him in the offseason. I got love for Romeo, but you can't do that. Just not show up to practice and stuff that he did, and you could tell that it's, jealousy in a way or not being featured as much. You can't have somebody like that on the team, especially a Packers team. We so anti, bad temper is crazy. I always find that hinder us sometimes, but for that, for like a wide receiver of like his caliber, he's not like A1 Stephon Diggs or Adams or anything like that. So it's like if you were like the ultimate Jefferson or something, Justin Jefferson, then I could get that because you don't want to waste the talent. But like you said, he's like number 3 on our team, number 2, number 3.
Sure.
So, the way I like Watson doing this thing, so I probably would sign him just because, like you said, he got the speed aspect, something that you don't find, that we don't have a lot of on our team. But that's what I would do personally. And to me, it's not the same as like Jair. I know a lot of y'all been comparing it to like Jair. Jair didn't say he didn't want to play. Jair was mad at the defensive coordinator, and but he still showed up to play. He just wanted to be a captain, of his hometown when we played the Panthers in Charlotte. So that was more of I might not like the coach, but I'm gonna still play. So anyway, go back though.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly all the things I've said about the Jair thing. Obviously, it's not a one-to-one comparison. But I think, I'm kind of approaching it from the standpoint of we've seen these little flare-ups, and hopefully it's a similar situation insofar as it gets remedied and we just move on, right? As far as I know, the Jair thing is perfectly fine. I don't know. And that's the hard thing about this situation is we knew why Jair and the rest of the defense was ticked off. Right? Things were going wrong. Everything was bad. They were not happy at their job. And we knew that the defensive coordinator was likely going to get fired. Apparently, they took it a step further and fired the training staff, which apparently they didn't like, the players didn't like. And now with the defense playing well, there's really no reason to worry. I mean, maybe there is, but there's every reason for us to just be like, okay, that's fine. Haven't seen any issues. Very reasonable to believe that it's all done with, so we can all move on. We don't have that with Romeo. All we have is he was pissed, he got suspended, and he came back and he still has a puss face, but he's playing, so we should just be happy. It's like, yeah, all right, yeah, I guess. But again, I wish there was some kind of resolution, but it's hard to even know what the resolution is because we don't know what the problem is. I know I had Beer Cheese Benny hit me up on social media and kind of posited something that actually makes sense. And, again, it's probably not right to speculate, but I can't not try to connect the dots in my brain, and I haven't been able to, and this at least works. He had mentioned how a lot of people, especially guys, have a hard time admitting when they're going through things emotionally, mental health, whatever. There's a problem because if it is a mental health thing, they wouldn't have suspended him, right? That seems clear. That's already been stated by one of the beat writers. I don't remember exactly who. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't, because essentially the Packers show up and they're like, bro, why are you not at practice? It's possible that he's going through stuff and just doesn't want to say that. And so he says something else. Like, I'm freaking sick of this team. It doesn't mean he's not going through something. And so the Packers perhaps would have been willing to offer support if he had asked for it. But the bottom line is, it's like, look, if you can't give us a legitimate reason or let us help you, then we have no choice but to say you need to show up to work, period. And if you don't, you'll be suspended. And Romeo's just like, screw you. I'm not showing up. So, okay, I guess you're suspended. Again, it's just, I'm just trying to find anything that makes sense, and that at least kind of connects all of the dots. Because everything else, there's like one thing that hangs out there that doesn't make sense. That kind of connects them all. And the positive of that is there is a reason to believe that he got over. The negative is this seems to be a long-standing issue with him, and I do think he's going to need some kind of help, and I hope that if there's any truth to it, the team, the NFL, whatever, is finding a way to help him with that. It's one of those, this is bigger than football type of things, but also, like, from a football team standpoint, he needs this. So I don't know. I really don't. But, yeah, I mean, the bottom line is there is certainly a scenario now where we can see, because there's so many players, because you're looking at him being maybe a number 3, it's one of those things where you just have a low threshold of tolerance for anything. And if there are any issues, if there's any whatever, when a guy that you have issues with comes and says, I want a huge bag of money, the team has a very easy out here. I know a lot of people have expressed trading and all that stuff. And again, as far as I know right now, he's a Packer and he's going to stay a Packer. But as we get closer to that point where these guys are going to start asking for money, which maybe has already even started, these types of conversations and questions are going to have to come up. And as stupid as it seems, because the Packers don't do that, right? You hit on a really good player. It's draft and develop 101. You don't cut the guy. You pay the guy. But these are strange circumstances. Let's take a break. I don't usually cut up or break up the calls, but we'll take our first break. We'll come back. We got a couple more from Omar, and we'll go from there. We will be right back.
What's going on? It's Omar Papa again. I want to kind of add a little bit more to my previous call partly about trading Dobbs. We got him in the 4th round, so if we get a 3rd round pick for him, that's a deal. Like, that's good, because we got 3 years out of him, and then flipped him and got something better. So it's similar to like Douglas in a way, in my opinion. But that's what I would do. And I feel like that's probably what Gruden will do anyway, because you need to be able to depend on somebody. I don't know, but he could have just had a mental breakdown and he's all right. But knowing people, with mental health, it's normally not fixed like that. So anyway, also I wanted to talk about the defense a little bit. Now, I'm not spending too much time. It's more of a player. You have been not liking the inside linebacker play, and I was trying,
With the exception of Edgerrin, to be clear.
To be like, oh, it's okay, because he's fast. Not Cooper. I'm mad I forgot his name on that. You know what I'm talking about. But he is terrible. When he ran into the wrong gap, and kind of just blew through the hole. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Quick. There you go. Try to block negative thoughts out of my head. That's why I forgot.
Well, and I'll be honest, man. Edgerrin has made it so much worse because you watch him. There's a play that I've seen a couple times on social media. It's just a basic run play, but you watch him mirror this running back. There's no lag. It's like it's it seems fake. I mean, he is perfectly moving. It's like, you ever seen those things where, you know, you got like twins or something pretending it's a mirror and then one turns away and it's like, whatever. It's fake. It's not real. That's what this looked like. And then to just like, you know, you watch Quay and you think, yeah, it's kind of tough or whatever to know which gap to go through and to get stuck here and all that. You know, sometimes you look and you see you suck, and sometimes you look and go, that wasn't good, but I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. And then you watch Edgerrin play, and it's like, oh, that's what you're supposed. That's wow. Yeah, no, I've never seen that. I didn't know you could do that. So that sucks. Okay, well, freaking. Jeez.
Quay sucks. You got speed. He might be better if he was like an outside linebacker instead of the inside linebacker. I don't know, but it's like, I don't understand the thought process. I feel like he's like a guy that I played football with back in the day. It was he used his power instead of using technique. So it worked, but he wasn't the best D lineman on the team only because he didn't use the technique. Like, he would just use his power, and it would work. It'll either work or he'll be like, shut up, kind of like Clay Matthews.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to use your technique, your brain, along with the power. And I feel like Quay just uses all his athletic ability and doesn't use his mind. And Stokes sucks. We already know that. So I think the draft, we should definitely hit cornerback and tackle. I only say that because I'm running out of time. All right, go.
Yeah, another corner would be fantastic. I know they love Keyshawn, and maybe maybe they're looking at it saying Keyshawn outside, Bullard in the slot is something they're comfortable with, you know, Bullard kind of rotating. There's a lot of that in the NFL right now. Brian Branch and those types of guys who are like safety/slot guys. There's a ton of that. Plus with Evan Williams, I mean, maybe they're feeling okay with it. I don't like it. It's only the fact that the defensive line has been so bad that I would maybe venture in a different direction. But yeah, I would love to find something better at corner if at all possible. Still just hoping for the defensive line to just wake up. I mean, Rashan is slowly starting to climb out of this rut. He's about the only one. Wyatt, again, the stats were at least there. The grades were not, but the stats were at least solid. But he's been out for a while, so we don't even have that to lean on. I don't know, man. There's a couple things that need to change, but I'm just so excited that, you know, obviously, again, Gutekunst hasn't been perfect. He's the one that got Stokes. That was a bad decision. You got Quay. Those were 2 first-round picks, and they're not panning out. But then you look at, like, you know, I've never seen a guy fix a thing so efficiently. You know, 2018, we were a 6-win football team. By 2019, he just rebuilt the entire team from the ground up, and we're ready to go. And that includes the coaching staff. All right, we got a new coach. We got all these new players. We got all this stuff. Boom, playoff team. Crazy. All right, same thing happens again. You know, several times, several different things. We need safeties now. Okay. Went from one of the worst to one of the best. Well, that was freaking easy. The Quay thing's not working out too well. Okay, I'll get Edgerrin Cooper. Boom, there we go. Now you got a linebacker. So we got safeties, we got linebacker. I mean, it's just, I just have a lot of trust in his ability to find stuff. Maybe not in the first round. I don't know. I mean, that was like a Ted Thompson thing. I felt like he was really hitting the first round for a while. Maybe he's just turning into Ted Thompson. Ted Thompson sucked in the first round, but he would just crush 4th rounders and stuff. So it's like 2nd round and 4th round. It's like, I feel like Goot's kind of slipping into that a little bit. You know, maybe we didn't find something in our first round pick this year, but I'll be damned if we didn't find a linebacker and some safeties and, maybe a running back. I don't know. We'll see if that guy comes back and what he can do. And, Sean Ryan is becoming something, of course, because he was a 3rd round pick. And we got tight ends that was in the 3rd round and maybe 2nd round. And Ben Sims is maybe a thing. And, at least we have Valentine, who was a 7th round pick. So I don't know. Always worry about, like, we got a late 1st round pick. I don't know if that's going to work out. It's hard to get those top elite guys. It's like, you shouldn't even be worried. It's the second, third, fourth round guys that are going to end up panning out for us. So who gives a crap what round we pick it? It doesn't matter. Or how late in a round we pick. It doesn't matter. But yeah, dude, we got some work to do for sure. Everybody's got a couple pieces here and there that you need to work on. And we got a lot of young guys too that we don't even know what exactly they can become. So we got to let that sort itself out. Still curious about Tyron Hopper. I mean, if these linebackers refuse to just become anything, I think we need to give Tyron Hopper a little bit of time to prove himself. Because, again, he was great in the offseason. I didn't like Tyron Hopper. I don't think any Packer fan liked that pick. He was a late runner. It's like he's bad at football, but he's fast. I'm like, this is a classic bust pick from the Packers. He's never work out. They suck. He comes in, he's really good. Right now, he's relegated to special teams. He's one of our best special teams guys. It's like, I feel like we should give guys like this an opportunity. When you have two of the worst linebackers in football that you refuse to take off the field, if you're going to refuse to give up on Quay, at least take McDuffie off and put Tyron Hopper in. For a little bit. Give him 8 or 9 snaps. See what happens. That's what you did with Edgerrin. Edgerin's getting like 8 snaps, and he dominates. And it's like, all right, let's give him 10 and see what he does with that. Suddenly, he's our top linebacker. Not saying he's officially taking Quay's spot, but it kind of feels like maybe that's the case. There's always free agency, too. Like, I don't care what you say about Brian Gutekunst. First of all, if you don't like his draft picks, I think you're being whiny and you don't really understand what a real hit rate is for a GM. But if you're telling me you don't think he can find free agents, you're just a freaking liar. You are the dumbest liar in the world. You're dumb and a liar. Give me a break. This guy with free agents is shocking how good he's been with that. These random guys you pick off the street that end up being top of their position, like Rasul or like the linebacker, I forget his name already. I've already forgot the guy. Then when he does take swings, it's like on guys like Zadarius, who ended up being the top pass rusher in football, or Xavier McKinney, who unfortunately is not the top guy because his, what was he, a 4th, 5th round draft pick safety is actually performing better than him. So he's only second in the NFL. Like, come on, man. Yes, if there is a corner and he's going to go get one, I think he's going to find some success. So figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, though, we do have enough talent to win. And so hopefully these things don't end up being massive crutches. Hopefully we don't lose because the kicker misses a kick or because Stokes gives up a big touchdown like Kevin King did, like before the half or whatever against frickin' Tampa Bay, or just none of that nonsense. And hopefully we can go on to have some success in the postseason this year.
Man, what a nice win. I really just liked that was an overall team win. Everybody played good, except Narvison. But that's what we expect. But I really like the rookies that stepped up. It seems like Evan Williams was flying around. Seems like Adrian Cooper was flying around. So I was pretty happy with that. And I did get a glimpse at the live grades before they ended up getting pulled down.
Yeah.
And I don't know how bad Josh Myers' injury was. I don't know if he ever went back in. I couldn't find anything when I searched his name to see if he was actually hurt. But the guy had his first decent grade I've ever seen since his rookie year. He had a 65. I don't know if they're going to find a way to drop him down to a 30 because it seems like he's always at a 30 or a 40. But I was like, man, this guy's doing good. He's doing good. And then he gets hurt. I was like, his first freaking good game. But hopefully Josh is okay. I kind of liked our line after he went out with Ryan at left guard and Elton at center. Besides Sean Ryan's false start, but yeah, hopefully we keep the depth and the rotation going. We don't want anybody out for the season. Very happy with Jordan. Very happy with the receivers. Everybody's doing what they got to do. Like them mixing a little more of the Malik Willis run game stuff in with all the motion and all the exotic runs and all that. Liked how Jordan just picked everybody apart. Defense handled business. They couldn't drive the ball. The best player on the Cardinals was Kyler, and everybody else let him down. kind of happy Marvin Harrison wasn't on the field, because if he actually just had one competent person, maybe they get to 20. But we got to 30 something. I don't remember 30 whatever it was. So very happy. Hopefully, the pressure that we saw on Kyler next week, we can convert pressure into sacks with the defensive line and not have to continue blitzing. But Cooper, really happy with Cooper and Evan Williams, man. Those guys are legit. Evan Williams, that's the future that's the future all-pro safety, I think. Like, that guy just gets it, and Cooper is all over the field. That's all I got. Go Pack Go.
Yeah, the small sample sizes always scare me away because you never know. Some guys, they have some good games. Again, I'll point to Royce Newman. Guy was going to be a Hall of Famer, man. He was like a 4th-round pick. We always hit on 4th-round picks. He's built how did he even make it this long? He's built just the right way. Just looks like a Packers guy. Everything's great. He's got the flowing long hair. I mean, it's a guarantee. It's a slam dunk. And how did that turn out? And it's a little bit different because I think that was mostly preseason, but still, you always kind of worry a little bit that it could be kind of fluky. But again, you get Evan Williams 3 games in a row. Not that anybody can maintain that. That's impossible. He's going to have some bad games or whatever. Who knows where he'll settle. The thing that gives me confidence, though, when you watch Edgerrin Cooper and you watch Evan Williams, it's not like he had a good game because he had a pick. He's not getting those. He's just playing solid football. And again, when you watch the actual plays, when you watch these guys, you can see what makes them good. You can see their ability to do things that you don't see your other guys do. You watch them make plays and just think that looked easy, but I know for a fact we've got other guys that would have not made that play. That play with Kyler, so many guys would have dove in there. They would have flown at him. Kyler would have put a move on him, and they would just be gone. That, again, the play I was talking about with Edgerrin, I don't even know how to describe what other guys would have done, but it wouldn't have been that. So bottom line is, when you actually watch them play and you realize what ability they have and how intelligent they are, it gives you confidence that it'll continue at least to some degree. They might not remain the number 1 safety or a top 10 linebacker or whatever the case may be. I don't know what their fate is long term, but if you're not a good football player overall, you can only fake it for so long, right? I mean, Quay, I'm sure, had a good day at some point in his career. He never did what Edgerrin's doing, ever. He never did what Evan Williams is doing. So, players that aren't great at football can show you something, but again, you can only fake it for so long. And the longer they go on doing this, I'd be hard-pressed to find a lot. It's similar to like what I did before the season started with Jordan, where I said, look, how many guys do what Jordan did at the second half of the season and are actually bad at football? I mean, people threw out some suggestions. It's like, nah, it's not the same. It's just not the same. Not saying it's impossible, but, when you start stringing together stuff like this and then you see it, you actually look at it and you see what they're doing, you're going, oh, okay. I still remember that first, it must have been week 1, watching Edgerrin Cooper. I haven't done it since, but watching him and just saying, I've never seen a guy play so perfect in a game. It's only limited snaps, but it's like, how are you making plays on every play? So we'll see. I will remain cautiously optimistic. I'm going to kind of stay neutral here for a little bit, but man, there's every reason to be excited. That's for sure. Beep bop boop bop. Yeah, go ahead, Omar.
What's going on, Omar Firefighter? How you doing? It's been a long time since I called 3 times.
It's good.
This one is actually just about a little story. I'm in the fire station working today, and another firefighter, another shift, is Chicago Bears fan. Surprisingly, I know like three friends in the fire department that are Chicago Bears fans. Actually 4, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. 2 of them are from Chicago, so I guess that's not too bad. But they were at a game. I think it was this past week or the week before. At home Chicago game. And he said after the win, because I was joking with him, was like, we all Super Bowl. He said, you know what, you're exactly right. He said after we won the game, we were all chanting Green Bay, Green Bay, Green Bay. Like, literally, they won't chant in Super Bowl. They won't chant none. They was literally making it like, we have to beat Green Bay. And I'm like, and he was just amazed, like, damn, I know we hate y'all, but that's literally their only goal.
Well, it's funny because you hear that everywhere. There was a Cubs game, or I don't know if it was earlier this year or what, and a Green Bay sucks chant broke out. In London, Green Bay sucks chant broke out. It's hilarious to me that Packers fans chant is Go Pack Go. Bears fans chant is Green Bay sucks. I don't know what Lions fans chant. I have no idea. Vikings have their skull thing, which is, of course, in support of the Vikings. I have to assume of 32 teams, only one team chants about another team. They say, well, we have bear down. Fans don't chant bear down. I've never heard a bear down chant when the game is going well. When you've got this game locked up, when the Packers have a game locked up and it's getting toward the end, you start hearing the Go Pack Go, Go Pack Go. When Bears fans have a game locked up, you start hearing Green Bay sucks. There's only one fan base of all the professional sports teams in the world. I would be shocked if there's a second team that does the same thing. And yet that fan base has the audacity to constantly talk about rent-free, 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 all rent-free. Your entire organization is built on the backs of the Green Bay Packers. You're essentially a parasite. You don't exist. You're just the villain in the movie, right? We're Batman. You're whoever the hell. You don't exist without Batman because Batman is the story. The Bears are the Washington Generals. The Packers are the Harlem Globetrotters. You just exist to get beat. Your entire purpose is to help show the greatness and glory of the Green Bay Packers. That's it. You're the podium that we step on. And your Green Bay sucks chant is the proof. My definition of a Bears fan remains true. The definition of a Bears fan is somebody whose second favorite team is the Chicago Bears, and they hate the Green Bay Packers. That's it. You hate the Packers, and your second favorite team is the Bears. You're a Bears fan. Nobody just loves the Bears for the Bears. Your entire existence is just hating the Packers. That's it. If you guys had a shred of pride, you would actually root for your team instead of rooting against the Packers. It's the most shameful thing ever. It's freaking hilarious.
So I just thought that would be an interesting story for y'all to hear, because I never heard about us doing anything like that to the Bears or anybody else. But they literally, like, we are the Super Bowl. They're right. You know, that's why they got all these receivers. That's why everything, so they can try to beat us. And I think it's funny. So hopefully by the time we play, we have a better pass rush and our cornerbacks play better. So and hopefully Caleb Williams ends up being trash. But either way, I just thought that'd be an interesting story for you to tell y'all, because I was like, wow, that's amazing. Secondly, I guess I'll go back to my draft point, because I had to hurry up and rush that. But I think we're all in agreement of what we need. I'm the type of person that always looks ahead of the draft, trying to build a team up better. And cornerback is definitely a need. Defensive tackle or something with defensive line, defensive end, because the pass rush is trash, so I don't know which one that is. We need that. And I do believe, like I said, if we do the job straight or something, we're going to need a wide receiver. Watson could be a number one. He's playing good, but I really want to, like, hammer that on with another speed threat to be good, you know. Somebody that's, like, could start if Watson gets hurt, basically. But that's what I'm definitely hoping we get. And obviously, the center, I don't need to mention that because I know we're not re-signing our center. But that center is something you can get like in the second, third round. Sure. So that's not too bad of a deal. Anyway, go Pack, go. I'm also looking forward for you to do some semi-mock drafts or maybe players positions we might need, because we kind of know how the team's strengths and weaknesses are. So anyway, all right, go Pack, go.
Yeah, they just got to carpet bomb the interior offensive line position. I think the hardest part for the Packers is for them to actually draft interior offensive linemen, as opposed to just drafting a bunch of tackles and saying, yeah, but they kind of play center like a couple times in high school. It's like, bro, all right, whatever. We'll see how it goes, I guess. By the way, I asked the robot about it. There's a lot of this type, as far as like the Bears fans chanting Green Bay sucks, a lot of college football stuff. However, it seems like it usually happens during the games. College football fans, feel free to reach out here. But for example, Michigan has a chant against Ohio State. Does Michigan chant OH no, or whatever the chant is, when not playing Ohio State? Auburn apparently chants Roll Tears Roll to make fun of Alabama, but do they do that like when they're beating Pensacola Tech or whatever? They just start chanting Roll Tears Roll? I kind of doubt it. Do you hear like Auburn fans at baseball games start, at like Auburn baseball starts? I mean, I guess it would still apply because there's Alabama baseball too, but you know what I mean? And then there's Texas versus Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry. Both fans usually chant derogatory things about the other school, like beat OU or Texas sucks, even in games where they aren't playing each other. So, according to that, you got that going on. But I don't know. We'll have to see as far as the college football. And the other thing with that is, I know college football fans love to chant about their own team. Like you're telling me that Oklahoma doesn't have their own chants? Maybe they don't. I don't know. Michigan doesn't have like some kind of a Michigan chant that is a pro-Michigan chant. They only say OH no like all the time, like every time something good happens. They're like, Ohio State's freaking stupid. Touchdown, suck it, Ohio State. Yeah, baby. Maybe. I don't know. I know they super hate Ohio State, but I don't know. Maybe. All right, let's, I don't think we took a break yet. If we did, then sorry. But let's take a break. We'll come back. We got some Jersey Mike.
Hey, Ryan, this is Jersey Mike. So, man, all right, I gotta be real with you. This win feels good, but you know what? I don't feel great about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel great about it, but like I don't feel like this told us anything that we didn't kind of already know, right? I know Love is good. I know Dubs is good. I know Watson's a burner. I know Jaden Reed's a freaking Swiss Army knife of doom. I know Josh Jacobs is a hard runner. I know this offensive line can block well on running and pass down. I know for a fact that this defense is insane. I know that the guys play with their hair on fire. I know they're going to come up with some kind of turnovers throughout the game. I mean, crap, that is what I've come to expect from this team. That's what I've been wanting to expect from this team this whole time. And then, all
right, so what do you need, I guess? Because it sounds like this team is amazing, like top to bottom, everything's perfect. Maybe the kicker? What was it you were hoping to see that you missed?
Brown, and you're going to see that for most of the last year. But now finally we got what we've been looking for. So I'm happy with today's win or yesterday's win over the Cardinals. I'm good with it. It's fantastic. It's exactly what we needed. But I expect us to continue this. That was the expectation, is what we saw. That's the standard. Now we got to keep it. Now we got to continue to do that. Hey, what happens if we got a all-pro DB back there up against Dobbs on that one? Does Doug comes down with that touchdown? I guess we got, a call or two thrown our direction. I don't really know about that. They were kind of letting guys play, so I'm good with it. But all in all, let's be real. This Cardinals team came in looking freaking hot. They were something to fear, and they still are something to fear. This Cardinals team is pretty good.
Defense
We
sucks.
just made them pay when it mattered. I mean, they were driving there, and Evan Williams goes and knocks the ball out. So, yeah, we gotta be aware. We gotta be wary of the fact that if we don't get these turnovers, what is this game looking like? Like, yes, we're getting the turnovers. Absolutely. We need to account for that. But we can't expect those things to always be there. There was good pressure today. I like seeing what Quay and Edge do out there. Some people don't like Quay, and I think he just needs to settle in with his defense, honestly. This man has got too much shoved in his head for years now. Hold on. I gotta call you right back, because I got to go in on something about the defense. Let me call you right back.
Come on, man. Why does he get special treatment? Why is Quay like the one guy that's, oh man, he just got a real rough right now? Why does he get a pass? He's never been a good football player, ever. He comes into this season. We are, how many weeks? 6 weeks into the season? We are a third of the way through the season. It's like, well, he just takes time. How much time? Is it year 4 that he's going to... Can we get an answer before his contract? Because it's almost time to decide if we should give him like a 5th-year option. Should we do that, or what are we going to do with him? Well, I don't buy it. Here's the problem. I have no reason to believe he's a good football player. None. He's shown me nothing ever, except that he's really bad at stuff. And again, the problem with the whole, well, he's just, he's too bogged down. I watched him run past guys. I've watched him just completely miss tackles that 95% of linebackers are going to make. I've watched him just in basic coverage, and he can't do it. What I'm watching doesn't seem to be a guy that's super talented. He's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, he's in the right spot. He just can't make a play. So, again, we've had him for years, and he's been bad. And now this year, we're a third of the way through the season. We got rookies that are, they're coming out of college. Edgerrin Cooper was in college. He comes into the NFL, which is a massive transition, and he's playing really well. Why would we give Quay Walker, who's been in the NFL for years, the benefit of the doubt just because it's a new defense? It's new for everybody. So what? It's new for Jair. He's doing fine. It's new for McKinney. He's doing fine. It's new for Keyshawn. He's doing fine. At least he's as good as he was. Like, there's no big drop-off anywhere except the defensive line. But it's not even a drop-off for Quay. He's just the same guy we've always seen. He's the same guy with zero improvement over, 3 years? Zero improvement? I'm just not doing. I'm not giving him any excuses. If he wants to prove that he can play football, great. But I am absolutely not making any excuses for this guy. No chance. I didn't quite understand the first part of the call. Maybe I missed something critical in there. But I don't know. Seemed like you said you weren't happy with it, but then you said you were happy with it. I don't know if it's just because they're a bad, but that doesn't make sense because you said the Cardinals are a good team. So I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if we can get some clarity here on the second call.
Hey, Ron, it's Jersey Mike. Yeah, so like this whole deal with Quay has been looking off, really looking off
he looks
recently.
He looks the same.
Everybody's like, Quay can't play linebacker. Quay can't play football. If he's got to think, there's too much going on. And I agree to some extent. But what did we see yesterday? It looked to me like they had Edge lined up in the Mike role. Okay? Now to me, at a certain point, to me, all that says is they want Edge inside because Edge can make all them crazy freaking decisions real quick, and Quay just needs to be put on a guy and let him go hunt, right? He just got to do that, and that's something I wanted to talk about on defense that I noticed a few times yesterday that's going to get us murdered.
But just to be clear, he didn't play well. So, I mean, PFF said he was the Mike linebacker, so Quay must have played most of his snaps at Mike linebacker. But even if we're saying that they switched him and they've decided that they need to put him at, weak side linebacker, let him go chase, it didn't work though, right? Like, he didn't look good. So they didn't find a solution, whatever it is that they're doing.
In real football games, like real football games are going to get us. Okay, sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly when in the game, but multiple times throughout the game, Quay is getting a call in, and he's telling everybody what's going on, and the D-line is communicating, and the safeties and DBs are communicating, everybody's communicating, and Kyler Murray snaps the ball. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, shit, time to go to work. But let's be real. These guys don't 100% just know. They don't just know what they're supposed to do. So there's a lot of communication that's going on to get guys on the same page. And to me, that's one of the biggest problems with Quay right now. I think Ja got caught up, and luckily the ball didn't go to the guy he was covering. But there was multiple times where guys were out of position or defensive linemen weren't ready to go because calls were being made or changes were being made or whatever was, like the audibles were happening and guys aren't set. What happens when Quay doesn't have to do all that and Quay is actually, where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there? What happens when
I don't know, but right now Quay is, if you're right, then that means Quay's the only one that does know the call. Everybody else is playing well, Quay's not. He should be the only one playing well. I don't know. Maybe. He's played, week 3, they called him a weak side linebacker, so he played the plurality, I guess, at weak side linebacker. That was his worst game of the season. He had a 35.9 grade, 29 coverage grade, which is a problem when you're playing weak side linebacker, is you're, covering running backs and stuff out of the backfield, and he sucks at that. Put him at strong side linebacker, now he's got to cover tight ends. I don't think he can do that. Put him at Mike, he's got to just stand there and try to tackle guys. He can't do that. So I don't know.
D-line isn't taking forever, and the DBs aren't taking forever to get set and to know where their assignments are. What just happens when everything starts to click? This defense is looking mighty impressive, and we haven't even...
Well, things are starting to click. Things are really coming together, and it's because of guys like McKinney and Edgerrin and Jair and Evan Williams and to some maybe lesser degree Bullard and who's our freaking other corner? The return guy. You know the guy. It's because of people like that. I think it's starting to come together even more as they remove Quay from his role and give it to somebody else. And it's not because Quay is better over there. It's just that he's in the way of somebody actually doing the job properly. Really, when was the last time he had a good game? He had 3 good games last year. The last time he had a quote-unquote good game was week 8 last year against Minnesota, 71.6. That's it. And then he had 2 good games, week 1 and week 2. He actually had a 92 grade against Chicago. So week 1, 2, 8. It's 3 games. He had 0 so far this year. 2022, he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 5 good games. So he's going backwards. He just also had some of the worst games ever. So, his grades over 3 years, 52, 58, and this year 47. I don't know how much more patience we can exercise with this guy who puts together 1 or 2 or 3 good games a year and has given us none through the first third of the season. I don't have the patience for this. I don't. It's almost time for his contract or a 5th-year option. And at this point, if the question came up, should he get a 5th-year option, I would laugh in your face. That's the dumbest question in the world. Of course you don't give him a 5th-year option. He's going to ride out his 4th year, and if he can play, great, then I guess we'll give him some kind of a contract, but he's not going to be able to play well, and we're going to let him go. That's what's going to happen. It's been almost 3.5 years of his 4-year contract. I'm not interested in having the Quay Walker conversation. As far as I'm concerned, he's gone, and we need to replace him. If some miracle comes along and he just becomes a stud, awesome. Great. I'd love to see it. But there are very few people on this team I have less confidence in right now than Quay Walker.
Seen it at full force yet. And I'm only talking about us setting the standard. That's what I'm talking about. These Cardinals, they're a good team. Last I checked, they beat the 49ers. Guys, this is big. This is special. We need to keep this run on. I'm freaking excited. The hype train is on. All of the pieces are working. Dude, please call Anders Carlson back.
Yeah.
I'd rather him miss an extra point over this bull. Come on, dude. Go back, go.
I was going to just let the swearing go, but I don't think I can let that one go. Yeah, I don't know if it's a pride thing with Goot or if something happened. I don't know why Anders wouldn't be getting a call. There's a lot of people, but yeah, I would absolutely take Anders over our current situation with Narveson. This is terrible. It's god awful. And I have no reason to believe that he would miss as many extra points. And like you said, even if he did, so what? You got to miss 3 extra points in order for it to be as bad as missing 1 field goal, right? So if this guy's missing like 5 field goals, Anders Carlson would have to miss 15 extra points in order to keep pace with that. Subtract, any field goals he might miss. But again, he's not that bad at field goals. He wasn't great, but he was just kind of on the low end. Not like the worst in the entire NFL. I don't know. I have no idea what the heck is going on. Kyle, what's going on?
Ryan, Kyle from Madison. How are you today, buddy?
Good.
Okay, 2 things. One, off topic. Bro, I know you hate so much, we talked about this, left lane campers. I'm telling you, Germany might be the place for you. Because, Autobahn, so it's pretty slick, right? It's not 100%. You can't just go as fast as you want all the time. That's certain hours, etc. But so what's cool is nobody's ever in the left lane. It's like a serious offense here. And the way they solve it is all their interstate system here in Germany has 3 lanes. And all trucks and semis are completely forbidden from the left lane. And it's totally a social faux pas. No, that doesn't do it justice. It is like parking on railroad tracks to be parked in the left lane. Yeah. And the reason is because that's where high performance sports cars will win. You'll be destroyed if you're just parking in the left lane. They're coming up on you at 180 miles an hour or whatever. They flash your brights. You better get over. But it's pretty cool. It changes the entire way that interstate systems are. I wish we could do it. Jersey Mike would freaking love it. Jersey Mike might need to move here, man. You with your ceramic brakes and all that in the left lane going, 200 miles an hour all day. Yeah, it'd be your jam for sure. But it's so refreshing. No, campers in the left lane. You just pass and get back over and everybody does the right thing. I don't think we can handle it in America, but it's nice to, dream. The other thing is, man, so I rewatched the game.
By the way, all I heard you say was anybody in America that's in the left lane should just go to prison, and I agree. I sign off on that.
And I'm not a big guy for body language police. I just think it's stupid. And also, these guys don't want to talk to reporters sometimes. And in particular, I'm talking about Dobbs. He's not going to want to talk about this week, But I watched the game again, and I'm like, what? It seems really odd. He didn't do Lambeau Leap, and it was just weird, man. His face, again, I don't want to do body language police, but after the week that happened, you'd think dude would be smiling and jumping up and down and stuff, and I know his teammates were, but he really didn't have a lot of emotion. And then it was I don't know, some of the beat reporters afterwards were asking him, and there just wasn't much there. And I'm just wondering, are we ever going to figure out what the hell went on there or what's going on? And do you think it's going to be something in the future? Because I don't know, it's just weird. I don't quite understand what's going on. And mental health, I get it. But I'm just even more confused now. Now, I'm super happy with the outcome because obviously that can only help to have a guy have a game like that. But I'm more baffled even, though, than I was before. So Anyway, buddy, hope all's well. Go Pack. Talk to you later.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it's just that my mind's playing tricks on me because I'm looking for it more, but he looked more upset than usual, right? I don't remember him looking this bad. There was always a thing where it's well, yeah, Dobbs doesn't really talk to the media or he's kind of a quiet guy. We knew that. I've never seen him just look angry or sad for an entire game, he just doesn't care about anything, doesn't want to talk to anybody, doesn't even want to make eye contact, doesn't, it's this is... Maybe it's always been this way and I just didn't notice, but it just feels a lot worse. And like you said, it's, there's a reason why we've never really talked about it before, and suddenly we're talking about it. It's not because we're body language police, it's because it just became a very serious problem. When it wasn't a problem, it wasn't a problem. But then when it became a problem, it's a problem. And no, I don't generally just take to just shut up and don't worry about it. That doesn't work for me. Well, they said it's fine, just leave it alone. No. Sorry, that's not going to happen.
What up? It's Aaron from Eau Claire.
What's up?
Just thrilled with yesterday's win. Thrilled with the completeness of the victory. Honestly, 13 points for the defense to give up is great. But also just the fact that they, were able to force more turnovers. and see growth. That's the thing. I mean, it's really interesting right now. The NFC North, I was just reading, is the winningest division in the league, and everyone's got at least 4 wins, and I think that's pretty crazy. Like, what a stunning turn of events for our division. Last year it was pretty much the Packers and the Lions, and for much of the year the Packers did not look like they were going to keep up with the Lions, and now it's like it's going to be a dogfight unless one of these teams drops off, which is still a possibility. We've only seen 6 games, so we don't know, if there's going to be some team that kind of starts to flail between the 4 teams. But they all have solid rosters. They all seem to have a quarterback who's at least playing well right now. We'll see if that continues to be the case for Sam Darnold and for Chicago's new quarterback. But for now, they all seem to be pretty solid teams with solid coaching, I think. And so yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We're so used to kind of relying on a weak division, I think, that in a lot of ways, like when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback, I think a lot of times we'd get used to a weak division and we'd get used to always getting to the playoffs, but then we would kind of fall to a tougher team. And I'm just hoping that with this whole like tough division kind of thing, not getting complacent, not getting comfortable, not getting yourself too high will actually be a good thing for this team. Of course, all the other teams in the division are thinking the same thing, but I'm kind of excited about it. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think iron sharpens iron, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've heard about that quite a bit in the past when it was a weak division. A lot of people were, whenever you lose in the playoffs, there's a lot of speculation as to what's going on, a lot of theories. Just like when you get a slow start, it's because the didn't play in the preseason or whatever it is. There always has to be like an answer and a reason, because we don't like just 'cause. Nobody's satisfied with that. But that was always one of the things that was brought up. It's a really weak division, and so the Packers just aren't prepared. And, the obvious issue with that is that they don't just play the division. They've obviously played some tough teams here and there or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I do hope it makes them more battle-tested, especially, going through it. I mentioned the Bears gauntlet toward the stretch. I mean, if they do end up making the playoffs, which kind of 50-50 in my mind, just because even if they do have 6 wins, they'd have to pull off 3 or 4 more, which is possible. But if I'm right that it's just not a good football team, then yeah. Plus, that assumes they actually win 2 of those 3, which isn't a guarantee either. But if let's say that they do, you go through a gauntlet like that, and let's say they pull out 4 or 5 wins in that stretch, you are, I don't want to use the term battle tested again, but that's it. And I think a lot of the NFC North is going to be going through that. We're going to end up playing each other a ton, going to be just smashing the crap out of each other. And yeah, you face the second best team in a different division in the playoffs. Like, are you kidding me? You're not as good as really any of the teams in our division, except, again, maybe the Bears. But even them, like, they've got a really good defense. So if you're able to push through the Lions defense, the Vikings defense, the Bears defense, those are 3 good defenses. Houston's defense. The Packers have played some weak defenses. They're going to face some really tough defenses, some of the best defenses this year. So hopefully, by the time they get into the playoffs, there's not much that they haven't been able to get through. Now, that's the other thing, too, is you have to actually win. If you're getting beat up by these teams, you beat the easy teams and lose to the harder teams, and you split with the division or whatever, and you eke out just enough to get through, that doesn't feel great. But we'll see, man. I don't know. I don't have a lot of answers for why things just keep going south, other than it's hard to win It's hard to win Super Bowls, hard to win playoff games, but we've tried everything else. Why not try this? Tough division. Sure. All right. Maybe that'll be the answer. Tough division and hopefully good defense. Sounds like a winning formula to me. All right, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a good night. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.